No. Delegates, welcome to this report by Universal
y El País.
The Third Committee of the United Nations General Assembly, SOCHUM, chamber is bursting with speeches, diplomatic gestures, and tenses with silence. Resolutions are being decided there that, while not binding, leave their mark on the international narrative on human rights, decolonization, and humanitarian issues. At this crossroads of agendas, two voices from the international press analyze what at the stake: El País from Spain and Universal from Mexico.
SOCHUM has become the thermometer of the state through commitments to the human rights. Its solution is a mirror. It reflects the extent which government and willing to defend the human dignity beyond their immediately interests. Okay, we see European pushing debates about violations on Syria or Myanmar, and while sustaination we facing accusations of ingressing indecent treatment of migrants. This tension defines the communities, and it's not enough to condemn. We must be consistent.
Delegates directly from Latin America, the approach is different from Mexico. For example, Mexico insists on historical principles such as non-intervention and the self-determination of peoples. SOCHUM not only discusses human rights violation, but also proactive conflicts such as the Palestine or Western Sahara wars. There are misplaced words that can be interpreted as an alignment with power or a betrayal of rigid alliances.
Delegates, but can naturally be a refuge when it comes to crimes against humanity. Europe maintains a lukewarmness is a complicit. SOCHUM, although it lacks judicial power, serves to raise the voices and will a national pressure. We have seen this Russian Ukraine in resolution from this committee don't stop things, but they do regenerate the legitimacy for sanctions and diplomatic installations. A voice here has a moral of general force, and sometimes that moral force changes the history.
The dilemma currently debated in the Southern Committee for Latin America is one of consistency. How credible is it to denounce abuses in Asia or Africa when our own countries are plagued by problems of disappearance, gender violence, or repression of the press? It's a double-edged word. What is said at SOCHUM also comes back as a question mark internally. At the Model United Nations, delegates experience the same thing. It's not enough to cite principles. They must be backed up with actions from all the nations involved.
That's precisely we have the importance to communicate the new lion. Delegates, leaders that diplomacy isn't just about the street talk. It's about the confronting, negotiating, and deciding to whether to prioritize the geopolitical stability to defend the universal values. SOCHUM reveals the contradictions of exposed to double standards, but it also opens the way for you foiling the concerns. What do you want other sides being possible?
And that learning is vital because in a world plagued by war, mass migration, and polarization, the press and diplomacy share a common challenge to involve and act responsibly. SOCHUM doesn't pass judgment, but it does leave a record. At MUN, every young person who represents a country feels that responsibility.
That's why they have to say, SOCHUM is not a presidential committee, it's an arena where the words become denunciations, memorials, and warnings. The delegates, like the real diplomats, must be decided, will be a lukewarm voices, firm voices. The future of human rights depends not only on government, but also that those who, today in the justice simulations, are learning to put dignity before the political calculations. The confrontation between El País and Universal isn't a reality. It reflects two visions. One demands the determinants and in defense of the universal principle. The other warns the risk of regional inconsistencies and the contradiction in the model of United Nations, the clash translated into inevitable questions. What does the extent our country nation? While in speak out, words to clash translated to where stands our country, and to extended to young delegates, their all demand more than an actual government's offer. SOCHUM doesn't pass a judgment, but it does actions resonate far beyond New York. Thanks.